What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and before I get into anything, I have to plug my merchandise. If you guys do not know, I do have apparel. This is not one of the items, because I can't sell the YouTube logo, but make YouTube great again. Probably can't even see the microphone through the fucking way. It's a pretty dope shirt, hey? You guys can use code Alliefx or Allie. I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see, but you guys can actually get tie-dye Alliefx apparel. So if you're into that kind of stuff, I'm going to leave the links in the description. They did put a lot of stuff on sale, so go check it out. I dig it, so with the last video I posted, I feel like a lot of people did get a little bit confused. I'm not quitting posting content to this channel right here. It's just going to be a lot less often than posting to my other channel. I've been posting almost every other day on the other channel, and I love all the videos I've been posting. I'm gonna get better as a photographer, a videographer, just in general. Creative side of me is just going to get better. And so if you haven't subbed that channel yet, I recommend you do so if you do like the content that I make, not necessarily the games I play, because I don't play any games on the other channel. So if you want to show support on the other channel, make sure you go subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications when I upload. We're close to 1,000. We're already at 600. Today's video isn't about my new channel or anything like that. I mean, like, it kind of is, but it's more so on the topic of drugs. I know you guys know that I did lose my brother a few months back due to a drug overdose. We're still actually waiting for the toxicology results, so we don't know exactly what he overdosed on yet, but we do know it was drugs. So video's not necessarily about him either, but it also kind of is. Recently on Facebook, actually, not Twitter, Facebook, another person my brother's age died, and people, their family hasn't went out and been like, oh yeah, he died from an overdose, but he was one of those guys that did go out and use, not like he had an addiction or anything, but he would like to party. He would like to go to a rave, and when he was at a rave, he would pop something to make him feel a little bit better, you know what I mean? In no way do I condone doing that. I'm just saying, like, he wasn't an addict. He was someone that went out and used drugs casually, and he lost his life, which is really, really unfortunate because he was such a bright person. Like, he wasn't scared to show people like who he was as a person. He was, like, from what I seen, like, I didn't know him personally, but I did have him added on Facebook, and a lot of my brother's friends knew him, and some of my closest friends knew him or were friends with him, and he was just such a bright person on Facebook. Like, he was one of a kind, truly. So when I went to Twitter, I basically initiated a little bit of a rant from myself about drugs. I said, if you're a casual drug user, not even an addict, it's only a matter of time before you get screwed. There's some wild stuff in the drugs you guys buy these days. Don't even say your dealer is real or whatever either, because they don't care if you die. And I stand by that hella hard. And it made me think about one of the documentaries I recently watched. It was, I can't even remember the name of it, but if I find it, I'll link it in the description. It was super freaking good. So a group of guys took time off work, or I think they may have actually quit their jobs to do this. Basically traveled around to different music festivals. I think they went to like over 10 or something like that. They went to the music festivals and they basically used test kits to test people's drugs to see if what they initially purchased was what they were actually getting in their drugs. And while watching that documentary, basically what they did was they put up like the tiniest piece of their drugs in this little tube. They put a little bit of this stuff in there, like the test kit, and then they shook it up and it would change color. And whatever color it would change would kind of show you what was actually in the sample. And 9 times out of 10, the drugs that were showing up in the little sample that they had was not what they purchased. A lot of people did have ecstasy, and what they were getting was bath salts, but that's besides the point. And like, it was a really good documentary, put into perspective, like, a lot of people buying drugs off the streets, like, it's not regulated, it's scary. People can cut the drugs with whatever they want and potentially kill you. The stronger the drug, and street drug dealers get a better credit if, you know, like, people die because their drugs are stronger, you know? Like, it's scary shit. They do not care if you die. And that kind of leads me to my point of this whole video. I'm actually making a film about drugs. A lot of people are strung up on the whole prevention of drugs, but they don't realize there's things put in place to help people that are either addicted or use casually to not lose their lives. And with this, I'm very conflicted in my brain about this. I'm 100% full forward prevention. Don't do drugs. But at the same time, I had a brother that lost his life due to using casually. Like, he wasn't even an addict. I mean, like, I don't know, he hit it pretty well for me, but I had a brother lose his life to drugs, and I would rather have him sitting here today than not. And because I pushed prevention so much, he didn't tell me he was using. He lost his life because he didn't know of any like harm reduction measures. And like Bifter said on Twitter when he replied to my tweet was, there are test kits that you can use on your own drugs to see if you got laced product. In no way am I going to promote like using drugs. Like this is why I'm conflicted, because I don't use drugs. I don't like the thought of using drugs or others using drugs. It does not hit me the right way. I don't like it at all. But then again, I would rather see my brother here today and he used drugs, right? Like, people do it. They're not gonna just not do it because you tell them to, right? And so the film that I'm making is a documentary about all those different ways you can reduce harm when it comes to your loved ones or just anyone around you using drugs. It's going to be very hard for me to do because, like I said, like, I'm very conflicted. I would rather just nobody use drugs. In a simple world, that would work really good, but people aren't just going to stop using drugs because you tell them to, and that's like the main thing, right? It's a very touchy game, and it's very scary. Like, I would hate to see any more people so young lose their lives because of drugs, right? Like, it's freaking stupid. And people are always gonna say, like, this drug is so safe, blah, 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 but, like, they're not regulated. You don't buy them from a store. You get them from street dealers. Your dealers don't care if they kill you. They will cut it with stuff to make their product last longer and go further. They do not care about your life and what you consume. People always in their head say, well, my parents did it when they were young. They're here today. It's safe. Well, no. Way back when, people weren't cutting their drugs with fentanyl. And, like, I don't want to give away too much about the film, but I'm going to put a little bit of a snippet right here because I do want to show you guys what I have so far. I have a few interviews lined up at the end of this month with someone that is a recovering addict and has been sober for a few years. Someone who, like, literally went to rehab for months and cut everybody out of their life. Like, incredible human being. I'm interviewing later this month about it all. So, get out, dude. If you kill me, I'm going to be so upset. Decision to use, and because of that decision he didn't make it to see his 24th birthday, and in my opinion that's just not okay. With that, I think I have a lot of questions. I'm grieving, and I need to help people in one way or another, to put it simple. I have things lined up. I went to an naloxone training where you learn about the injection if someone is overdosing around you. Like, I'm doing whatever I can as a human to kind of educate myself, and within this film, I'm going to push awareness and hopefully educate other people a little bit more about it and open people's mind to harm reduction instead of just fully pushing prevention. So that's the thought behind it. All the links about the film are going to be in the description. I did make a website about it. It's going to be crazy. It's going to take a long time to finish. There's no estimated time of when it's going to be released. I have to do a lot of work to kind of get it where I want. And I need to grow as a videographer, as a everything to make it work. So I'm nervous. I'm hyped to make something of this scale. But I'm like really scared too, so. But that's the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for listening to me rant about drugs again. Adios.